Welcome to the FocusCast. Today is our guest, TJ Shed,
owner and CEO of Hit Network.
We will hear how he leads a team that manages multiple content brands,
earns millions in revenue, and we'll get to hear about his systems and habits for Focus.
Oh my gosh, let's welcome our guest.
Oh, yeah.
Live in front of a studio audience.
Yeah, right. I can get these headphones on. All right, let's go.
Awesome. I'm Jonathan Noel.
And I'm Brian Noel.
And I'm TJ Shed.
And this is the FocusCast.
We drop focus guides for solopreneurs and side hustlers.
With a 6-figure goal. So let's get focused as...
Funk.
Boy. All right, so before we understand how you manage your day, we're going to do a bit of a rapid fire.
All right.
Yeah, so people can get a little context.
Yeah, who is
Rapid,
this
I
guy?
like rapid. That's the way I live, so let's do it.
Who is this guy? So we're going to ask TJ some questions about his company, about who they serve and all that kind of stuff, but we're just going to go. You ready, bro?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
You ready, TJ?
I didn't know. Oh,
Bros? We are
let's
brothers.
Hit it. Let's hit it. Well, I noticed that on the email, the bro media. I was going to say, that's pretty cool. I get,
We're really embracing the brother.
Yes,
the fact
we
that
are.
We're brothers.
And I'm
100%.
glad I didn't get the memo on the gray shirt, but I fit right perfectly in the middle. It's like a reverse Oreo.
It really is perfect. All right, so here we go. What is the name of the company?
Hit Network.
All right. What is your title?
Owner/CEO.
When did you and your
Co-owner/CEO.
When did you and your business partner launch?
September 2020.
Nice.
What was your 2022 revenue?
2022 revenue approximately $4 million.
How many employees do you have?
Approximately, 34 W2.
Nice.
All right. What is your target customer?
Target customer is generally speaking somebody who's looking to learn and educate themselves about the future of digital assets and where the economy is going.
Nice. And what problem do they have?
They have the problem of they have the problem of inflation and not enough money to buy groceries.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is very true.
That is a problem. And how are you helping solve the problem?
Well, the majority of the brands that we operate are in the Bitcoin and digital asset space. So we teach people about Bitcoin and how it works as an inflation hedge and helps people kind of change their financial futures.
Oh, man.
Very nice.
Well, what type of content do you provide?
Also when you mean like YouTube versus audio versus
Do you have to pay for it?
free. Yeah, we do tons of free content. No, it's all mostly YouTube based.
All right,
the
so
F
for
word.
so for those of us who are listening, I think someone may have just remembered the $4 million, and now we're hearing free.
Yeah.
So how the hell do you make money?
That's the $1 million question. All sorts of different ways. I'm a big, if you guys out there have heard of Gary Vee, I'm a big Gary Vee guy on the attention thesis. I think attention is one of the most valuable resources that exists today. And if you can learn to harness attention, then you can direct it in a lot of different ways to make money. So obviously, a lot of people, when they hear about YouTube, they think about AdSense. They think, you make all of your money from the YouTube, ad, revenue. And we make some money from it, but that's not the majority. We make a lot from affiliate sales. We do have an audience that's high net worth. They've got disposable income and they're looking to put it somewhere.
Okay.
And that's far and away the most valuable audience to advertisers. They've got money, they're trying to spend it.
Yeah.
And so they'll pay very high CPMs, very high commissions, very high affiliate deals in order to land those customers.
Well, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
So now, bro, we need to find people who are trying to be focused, but very wealthy.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, the best customer to have is one who actually has money, right?
Well, I think you're on the right track there, because if you think about who needs to focus the most, business owners,
That's true.
entrepreneurs.
yeah, you can't slip.
Yeah.
When you've got employees, you got people counting on you.
That's right.
You gotta.
You gotta have it together.
It's not just you when things are falling apart. It's multiple people's lives. Anyway.
That's true.
So
Thanks for reminding me.
all right. So managing multiple content brands. How many channels, brands does Hit Network manage?
That's I'd say we have about 9 active YouTube channels of our own. We've got a few shelved right now, 3 or 4, but generally speaking, 9 of our own. We have worked with other brands to manage their content as well. That was something we did in a lot this past year. We still do it if it makes sense, but generally speaking, we like to manage our own brands, and I'd say that's about 9 YouTube channels right now.
Oh my gosh.
Just YouTube, and then we put all of our content on almost every platform that we can. So it's a lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
So how many total subscribers would you guess across all
I would guess
channels?
about 1.6 to 1.7 on YouTube.
Okay.
You know, that's across all the different channels, most of them being on the BitBoy Crypto, which is about 1.457, you know, to be specific. But we also, of course, have, you know, I think BitBoy has 500,000 on Instagram. You know, we've got 1 million on Twitter, so I'm not rolling any of those in, but YouTube specific. I'm going to keep most of this focused around YouTube because if we go into all the numbers for all of them, we'll go all over the place. But
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned BitBoy Crypto. So what is the main channels that you use to engage your audience? So that's probably one of the...
Yeah, our primary channels, BitBoy Crypto is our main, you know, the mission for that is freedom through digital assets and help. That's where we do give tons of free education on how to, you know, engage with digital assets, how to trade them, how to pick winners, how to stay away from losers. You know, we spend a lot of time talking about the 4-year cycle, which, you know, I won't get into it today, but if you guys want to learn about that, check out BitBoy Crypto. We spend a lot of time. Bitcoin is very cyclical, and there's a lot of opportunity if you understand those cycles. So we spend a lot of time training people on that. Secondly, we've got a channel called Frankie Candles, which is a pure trading channel. He teaches setups and indicators and candlestick patterns and all that sort of stuff. Another one, BitLab Academy, is where people can go and get one-on-one training. That's more of a premium product where they pay to join a Discord, you know, $30 a month, but you're going to get one-on-one coaching. We made it extremely affordable. That's where we've got all of our courses, you know, because some people, we do a lot for free and we put it all out there for free. So almost you can learn anything you want for free, but we also do tons of videos a day on the BitBoy Crypto channel.
Yeah.
And some people want it organized.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go step by step. I want
Yes.
courses. I want to train. And if you want that, we've organized it in a way. Here you go, $30 a month.
Yeah.
You can get all that education and you get the community and coaching that, you know, will help you, you know, take step by step processes through it.
Like you said, that's a lot of information to sift through. So some people,
It's
they
time.
just want it, you know, they're willing to pay for a neat package, which makes sense, you know.
So those are the first 3. Then we've got Hit Network, which is obviously the parent brand, and we run a 24/7 streaming channel on the Hit Network where we aggregate all of our content together and keep that into a concurrent stream. So that's the Hit Network channel. It has about 112,000 subscribers. And then you run down. We've got a gaming channel. We've got something called Blockchain Basement that we just started, you know, and it just kind of filters down from there.
Do they film that downstairs?
They do, in the basement. You guys have to come join an
Blockchain
episode.
upstairs.
Yeah. That one's a fun one. That's kind of like this in the basement.
Nice. So my specific question, you know, so when you said, or when did BitBoy Crypto first launch on YouTube?
It would be Q1 2018, probably late January, early February 2018.
Gotcha. So from when did you, if you remember, you know, how long did it take to really, after producing content week after week for a year and then starting to realize to collect that, and how long did it take to get to the point to where you have this catalog of content, you're selling courses, you know, what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, it's funny. Well, I'll go back. My business partner started BitBoy Crypto in January. His name's Ben Armstrong. It was a slow growth through 2018, 2019. We were together we were friends the whole time. We kind of collaborated on a handful of different things, didn't formalize it until 2020. But our favorite fact when you're looking at success on YouTube is we love to ask people, how long do you think it takes to get to 100,000 subscribers? So I'm going to flip it on you. I'm going to ask you guys, how long do you think it takes to get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube?
I'm going to guess that takes 2 years, and then to go from 100,000 to 1 million takes 6 months.
And what do you think?
I mean, I think that's pretty accurate. I don't know if I'm going to be off that too much.
Well, it's funny. We do this at a lot of our meetups. It's a great guess. Everybody goes to time, and it's not time. It's videos.
Oh, well.
Most people get to,
Yes.
like when you do the math, and this is straight from YouTube, it takes about 1,500 videos to get to 100,000 subscribers.
Wow.
And so 1,500 on average.
Mind
Okay.
blown.
And then
All right.
it takes about 3,000 to get to 1 million. So it does kind of work out 2 years, and then that next 6 months you can grow very, very quickly.
Yeah.
But if you start thinking about it in uploads rather than time, because there's a big difference between somebody who does a video once a week and somebody who does a video every day.
Oh yeah.
And so that will change the way you look at the time it takes to succeed.
Well,
Well, that was worth the invite.
there we
There's
go.
a lot more, but that was a nugget I didn't know. Golly.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a lot when it comes to social media. So. More is more.
Yes, more is more. What channel or what brand generates the most revenue?
Big Boy Crypto.
And why is that?
It's been around the longest.
Gotcha. Oh, well,
Got the
because
legacy.
the most uploaded content.
Exactly. It's got the most subscribers, the most attention, the strongest community, and really we use all of the success can be attributed back to that channel because we've used it to launch the other channels.
Gotcha.
Makes perfect
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What are your top 3 metrics you track on a weekly basis?
Top 3 metrics are, I would say, views and watch time, and if you need a third one,
watch time.
click-through rate.
Oh,
Subscribers, don't count it. Doesn't matter. And that's a big thing that a lot of people don't realize. It's a vanity metric, especially if you're in the advertising world. We have brands with 35,000 subscribers that have as many views and watch time as channels with 200,000 subscribers.
Okay.
So if they're not watching, like you said, you got to look at the click time or the watch times.
Yeah.
Right. And really what the reason we focus on those numbers, that's what YouTube focuses on. YouTube judges channels by watch time and views. Because if you think about it, if you're the platform, what do you care about? Who's views and how long do they stay?
Yeah, no one cares
Yeah.
about if your videos only watch for 4 seconds and they leave.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we and
good
actually,
stuff.
yeah, we look at those, and it's pretty easy if you look at the YouTube app. They put that stuff in front of you very, very well. That's what they want you to focus on. So why reinvent the wheel? Just focus on what they tell you to.
Well, then that makes me want to ask this question. I'm sure there's quite a few things, but if you could say 1 or 2 things that has been successful specific to your content to keep people watching, what would that be?
Live streaming, far and away, when we started doing the daily live stream or Monday through Friday live stream, we saw exponential growth across the board. And if anybody, now it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's being
every
able
day.
To, well, every day, but even just live content in general, it
Yeah.
takes practice. You know,
Yeah,
the
no
first,
doubt.
The first time you do it, it's a little clunky. But I would highly encourage everybody to get into live streaming because, again, that's what YouTube is pushing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times knowing what the new features on content platforms, they're always going to be pushing them. So if you can jump on them early
Yeah.
and implement them, it's great. But far and away, live streaming is a great way to do it for multiple reasons. And I don't know how much, is this still the lightning round? I don't know how much detail you want, but going back to the Gary Vee stuff, he's a big believer in the pillar of content. And so if you can nail that daily live stream, then you've got your pillar and you can make tons of micro clips from there.
Yes. Okay. Man, that's why, for those who don't know, we office at Hit Network. That's
Yeah.
where the studio is. And when I hear you guys back on the live stream back there, I'm just like, man, they're fucking going.
They're crushing it.
Yeah.
like it's
no doubt.
nonstop. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. I could see where that takes some time to build out those skill sets.
Well, but I would encourage people to just start.
Yeah, just do it.
because it doesn't hurt, and the more you do it, just like when you're uploading to YouTube, the reason it takes 1,500 videos is because your quality goes up dramatically the more you do it. Because you're learning how to edit, you're learning
Yeah.
what people respond to, you're learning about your audience, you're reading the comments, and again, I mean, we do multiple live streams a day at this point. You know, on the Big Boy Crypto channel, we do a morning live stream. We did an evening live stream, and we just moved it to its own channel around the blockchain. So we do, in this building, we have live streams going on almost all day.
Man.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it took us a long time. I'm a big believer in 1% improvement.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Progress,
I
not
love that
perfection.
principle. Yeah.
And we've been growing every single day into more and more streams, more and more content for 2 years now. So.
Well, I think that's a good segue. What I love is for anyone who's tried to launch a piece of content or a consistent piece of content, whether it be a podcast or video or even just social campaigns for their business. every small business I talk to is they're still just, they struggle with telling their story over and over again consistently through social.
Yeah.
So let's get into, a lot of people obviously want to have a successful business.
Sure.
They want to be in this place where they're making millions of dollars. Some people want to be YouTube famous, hey.
That's actually the number one, if you poll kids today, when we were kids, what number one job everybody wanted? Professional. I want to be football player,
Or astronaut.
basketball player, astronaut.
Rock and roll star.
You poll kids today, 86% of kids want to be, they would say YouTuber. Next on the list, professional gamer, which is still kind of content creator.
Wow. So for those of us who are building out these habits, let's get into some focus and some systems and habits that you have personally and professionally to maintain this beast.
Yeah. It takes a lot. I mean, in social media, obviously your constant notifications, constant messaging apps, constant inputs, right?
Yeah.
And I tell people a lot, just like you're learning to improve your outputs with content, you slowly build the habits to improve your inputs, and because you have to intake a lot if you're going to be creating a lot. You have to read, you have to respond, you have, I can't tell you how many messaging platforms I'm on between Slack and Telegram and, text message and Discord and Twitter and, so many communication platforms. So for me, I police my phone pretty well with notifications. There's very few apps that actually can push notifications through to me all the time. But one of, habit-wise, it's time blocking. I'm a big time blocker, and I'm a big routine person where, I live and die by Google Calendar.
Yes.
I even include time blocking white space, time to think, time to, prep myself, time to read in the morning. So generally speaking, and that's part of where doing things daily helps. We've got our BitBoy live stream every day from 11:30 to about 1, might end a little bit early. It's an hour to an hour and a half, depending. So I do that. Then I've got a blockchain basement stream from 1:15 to 2:30. I hit gym from 3 to 4. I've got mornings, between, 8 and 11 to kind of prep and read. I've got afternoons to set up for future stuff. So, but I keep it extremely regimented. And then I try to keep some time on the weekends for rest, but you gotta do fun stuff too.
Well, I think that's such a good principle. We've talked about time blocking. We talked about this in episode 12. But, in talking to a lot of business owners, a lot of times they let their emails and their clients dictate their schedule. And a lot of times if you're still in that under $100,000 mark, you're trying to make money to survive.
Right.
So you're still taking on probably some bad toxic clients. And one thing that toxic clients do is they
Take too much time.
Yeah. They take too much time. They encroach on your desire to manage your life. And so I think that's a really good principle in just blocking that shit out and staying focused.
Yeah, that's what we learned in 2022, even as a mid-sized company, when we started to try to take on, client work, social media client work for other people. It was such a drain and a time suck, and it created needs for reporting and middle management and stuff that was not what we were good at. What we were good at is being quick and executing well and responding to our audience and trial and error A/B testing on social. When you have to explain everything to somebody else and justify it and get it approved, it just slows it down.
Oh
And the two most important factors are speed and volume. And you don't want to be slow when you're in the social game.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's cool. Got in, got out.
So there you go. No client work is what you're saying.
Pretty much. We fired a lot of clients at the beginning of this year. And it allowed us, when we did that, we learned, okay, we need to be moving this channel over here. We've seen our business grow exponentially just in the 2 months when we cut these other clients that weren't appreciating our help. We got our really talented people back focused on our stuff that is our core business. And, again, I thought I wanted to have a very conservative approach for growth next year. I just finished our kind of vision meeting, and we're looking at 50% growth going into 2023, which is pretty exciting for us.
Yeah. Nothing to scoff at.
No,
very exciting.
We're pumped.
So I would assume that part of that growth trajectory is more content.
Always more content. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it never stops. So, I mentioned BitLab Academy at the beginning. We're starting daily streams for that channel. It's more content, more channels. Twitter Spaces is a big focus for us going into 2023. Interesting for those of you that haven't, if you're not familiar with Twitter Spaces, you might have heard of Clubhouse when it blew up back in the day. It's an audio-based platform. Twitter immediately just replicated that model. Clubhouse, I'm sure, is still somewhat viable. But what's interesting to me about that, just like TikTok added, it was new because sounds could go viral for the first time ever. What Spaces and Clubhouse brings that's new to social media is it's the first social media you can consume passively. Everything else is very active. You have to scroll and you have to look.
I got you.
Audio-based things, you can be driving, you can be working, and so it's the first passively consumed social media platform, which is something that's interesting to me as we move forward.
That's pretty good. I'm digging that. And I've been on through
I didn't even know that existed, to be honest.
This is perfect. You guys could have a Twitter account, and this space right here, you could turn into a Twitter space. It's an audio-based thing. You could even pull people up on the stage. It would be, a lot of people are doubling spaces and video, kind of like this.
Yeah. Gosh. All right, so we got time blocking.
Yep.
Obviously, you're very routined.
Extremely. Yeah.
So, how do you hold yourself accountable to all this? What does your accountability look like?
Well, I go to a group called C12. It's for kind of it's a Christian leadership group where all of the members are either owners or CEOs of 7-figure plus companies. And we, from all sorts of different niches and industries and things like that. So I go to that once a month. It's an all-day thing. And
all day, once a month.
All day, yeah. And it's a lot. It's a big commitment. I drive about an hour to go, but I don't miss it for the world because what it gives is so much perspective. They call it a board, and we bounce all sorts of ideas off of each other. And I value it a lot because there's so much more experience. We've been doing this a lot, we've had a lot of success, but I've only been doing this a couple of years. And the men in that room that have seen multiple recessions, maybe it's a second generation company. There's some that manage 300 plus employees. There's some that are multinational. And the challenges those guys have to solve for brings me so much value, and just the focus and the camaraderie and all that sort of stuff. So that's definitely one thing I use on a business level. On a personal level, it's kind of somewhat of a reflection. I'm supposed to do it every day. I didn't do it today, but I try to every single day or every single work day write out, picture my life 10 years into the future, write out 5 things I'm grateful for, and 10 dreams. Now, I didn't make this up. If you guys know Grant Cardone, he's pretty big kind of guru guy. I haven't consumed a lot of his stuff, but I did read 10X. It's a book of his, and this is where that concept comes from. I've found it to be extremely helpful with clarifying where you want to go for the future. You're supposed to picture your life 10 years from now, and you're supposed to write those dreams out every single day. And as you do it, you start to discover what's really important to you.
Gotcha.
You do it 30 days in a row, and then you only get 10. And so you start like, I don't know if this is the most important. I'm going to drop this one for that one, and I'm going to switch this one for that. And then by the time you've done it for about 2 months, you pretty much know what you want your life to look like 10 years down the line.
Makes sense.
And if you're writing that out every single day, it puts you in the frame at the beginning of your day, hopefully. It puts you in the frame of mind at like, what am I going to do? Does it line up with these 10 things that I'm trying to, focus my life towards?
How specific? Give us one example of the 10.
So one of mine is I want my passive income to exceed my expenses.
Yep. I
want freedom to explore. I want to be the ideal husband and father. I want to be in the best shape of my life, in parentheses, pain-free, because that's part of my goal for this year is to get more flexible. I got neck and back pain. So I think I'm close into my best shape, but I'm not limber, I'm not lean, some of that kind. So those are some examples.
Gotcha.
You go all the way. I try to keep some, mental, relational, financial, spiritual. So I've got, some in all sorts of different categories on a personal level, and then you touch some business stuff. But again, if you check out 10X, he kind of explains the framework there, and you want them all to kind of work together. I want to be worth $100 million, but part of that is like, because I want to be able to donate X to my church,
right.
And so that you want them to feed each other.
Gotcha.
Definitely. We did for one of our episodes, Brian, remember we read that Harvard study where they interviewed 400 like business people?
Oh, yeah.
And what they reflected on. And it sounds like TJ is pretty much a living example of exactly what that study found.
Interesting.
So.
Oh, man, this is so good. So to recap, before we go into some business stuff, we've got time blocking. We've got some time to reflect. ensuring that as you're reflecting, you're doing some good goal setting, which you're using the 10X framework. You have accountability group professionally, but I'm sure that crosses over personally and professionally. And then the last one before we move off, you're a journaler.
Well, journaling is really what I call that writing I do in the morning.
Oh, nice.
So I don't really
use the 10X framework to journal.
I should journal more, and I've always thought about it, but I really that's my start. It's writing, I guess, is what it is. So
I don't understand why they don't have. I mean, you can like there's just a memo, but like no one's like translated audio journaling. Like there should just be an app where you can just tells the day and you just talk into it for 10 minutes on the way to work, and then like 40 years down the road you can go. That's got to exist.
Whisper, OpenAI, it'll convert it all to text for you.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Do you have to whisper? Sorry, stupid dad joke. God, me and my dad jokes. I want to be successful today. I'm really mad. I'm gonna fight with a friend. Oh man! So real quick, I think our audience is definitely going to geek out about everything we just talked about, more on the personal side. But we can just hit a highlight here for the business side. Let's say what's one or two of the key frameworks or systems that you use to run this business?
Like software systems
Anything.
Or just anything?
What comes to mind?
We use Trello for project management, Slack for internal communication. I mean, there's tons of different tools out there anybody can use for that. We're one of our goals for 2023. We're looking at a program called EOS. It's basically an operating system for your business. Yeah, Traction.
Oh, yeah.
Our whole leadership team's reading Traction right now.
Nice.
That's something that's been motivated from C12.
Yeah.
Several of those businesses have used it. Again, this is where it's great to watch. I watched somebody over the last 2 years implement it and take his business from 6 million to 12 million.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, it worked, and a lot of the people there have been doing that. And so it's great. Really what it does is it focuses people. What it does is it gets everybody responsible for a number. So we're getting there. We're not there yet, but we just did our team, or kind of our year meeting with the whole company, and we do have at least a lot of our revenue goals. Each person, we do have numbered responsible for each kind of individual all the way down, and it's been great.
Get a Grip is the book that they wrote, and it's the Traction model, but it's a storytelling book.
I'm gonna write that down.
So for people who hate business books but love a good storytelling book, Get a Grip is literally the Traction framework told in a story. Yeah, it's fantastic. Should be.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I love that.
Yeah, quick little nerdy moment there. So my favorite, I've been part of EOS for a long time and helped companies implement that. And an architect firm here, a mentor of mine, Croft and Associates. It's an architectural and engineering firm. Rolled that out for it was a 3-year period, and they definitely say it's very beneficial for them. But in one of the systems, for us, in talking about focus, a lot of times people struggle with focusing is because they're in their head. They're thinking about some argument that they had, some issue that they're dealing with at work, some email that they got. And the Traction model is you write down your issues, and there's no explaining the issue. There's no trying to justify an issue. There's no politicking an issue. When you come to the leadership meeting, you just say, I did this, I didn't do this, and here's my 3 issues. And you come to the meeting with those issues articulated. You don't just show up and bitch for an hour.
Right.
And you say, I have issue this. And by the time you process that and write that down, and then facilitating that, you put those issues on the board. And then as a leadership team, you say, which issue affects us all? And then let's spend 30 minutes tackling this issue. And it's just that framework of busting down roadblocks, getting rid of these issues, and moving forward is my favorite. So I can't wait to hear how your guys' sessions go, because that shit's fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. What it really does too, what I'm excited about is it takes, kind of to your point, a lot of the emotion out of the issue. Like the issue is the issue. It's okay.
Yeah.
And it makes it okay to have issues.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of fear and around that sometimes. So it helps a lot for communication.
Gosh, that's good. Oh. What else, bro? What else are we going to ask this man before he leaves?
Well, we've hit most of the major points. What do we think? You mentioned the goal for the next 3 to 6 months with the back pain. You have anything else in mind, or?
I mean, I've got a lot of personal goals. I'm moving things around, and like I said, I've kind of got my list of 10. And there's metrics. But for the pain. Like I want to hit stretch zone twice a week. I want to, there's gym stuff. I do kind of weight training 3 days a week, and then there's this thing called knees over toes twice a week.
I've heard of knees over toes. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been working really, really well for me. So I try to put success metrics with each one of those goals too. On the focus thing, I'm a big, one of my favorite phrases to use in all of business is what you focus on expands, and it applies I think a lot to this.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you can think about it in a framework of if you're looking at something and you're getting closer to it, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. That's good.
But if you're going after this and you're looking over there, the thing that's over there is going to get bigger. So if you're focused on your fears, they get bigger. If you're focused on your goals and your solutions, you're more likely to get them. So for us, it's a lot about just and that's where staying focused on specific numbers helps. And when it comes to motivating, kind of the team and everybody here, we just had our 2023 vision meeting where we kind of went over what we did in 2022, what we learned, what we're not going to do in 2023, and all of our goals for the year. And then we break down, okay, Ben, you're responsible for this one for BitBoy Crypto, Frank for Frankie Candles, Kelly for BitLab Academy, me for Blockchain Basement, Brian for Hit Network, Kelly for, and everybody knows they've got their number. Like, you are focused on this number. Now it's my job to be focused on the overall number and make sure we hit that 50% growth. But if I know everybody else is focused on theirs, and those numbers are all expanding and growing, then we can all grow together.
I like that because, in a very, very professional context, a business context, understanding those numbers, if we're talking about small business owners, solopreneurs, a bad client knocks you off your focus.
Absolutely.
A bad personal experience, relationship knocks you off your focus. And to your point, if you have that bad experience and all of a sudden you're meditating, you're focusing on that bad experience, it grows and it gets bigger and bigger. And then they quit and they do something else, and they quit and do something else, and quit and do something else. And I think a lot of people would be very fucking successful if they just
Stick
got
with it.
through that shit.
We'll see.
Awesome.
Anything else?
What do you think, bro? Should we post this? Are we going to keep this episode?
I think so.
I think so. TJ is a freaking rock star.
Well, thanks
we
for
gotta
having me.
post it because we're gonna have to listen to it 3 times or multiple times to
I know, get the
digest
nuggets
everything.
out.
That's the one thing I would tell anybody at home. If you're thinking about doing content, the number one advice I give most people is start.
Yes.
Make your first video and consistency. Stick with it. Like to what you were just saying. Don't do it and then see this shiny new thing over here and go chasing that or go chasing this. Stick with like it took Ben 2 years. It took really to go from the first year from 0 to 2,000.
Wow.
Second year from 2,000 to maybe 12 or 18, and then boom from 18 to 200,000 to $1.5 million. Yeah. And it snowballs.
Wow.
So
that's encouraging.
yeah.
Hey, this will be our 54th episode. So last year was just us getting into the habit of pumping out content. And now that we have, last year I had to get my iPhone out and we had to set up the little chairs in the shed. And if it was 20 degrees, we had to wear sweaters because it was cold as shit because it wasn't climate controlled. So now that we got the studio set up, we can just turn the shit on and make content, which is so beautiful.
That's what it's all about, is making it easy for yourself. And in the content space, there's so many places you could stop.
Yeah.
You could stop with the camera. You could stop with the lighting. You could stop with the script. You could stop with the question. You could stop with the guest. You could stop with the edit. You could stop with the upload, with the thumbnail, with the description, with the title. So you really have to want it, and you really have to want to continue over time. And making it easy for yourself to not stop is part of why we built this building. Because there's so many.
Everyone's here.
Yeah, it's easy to, you can just sit down and record.
Yeah.
And then it's done, and then you create your system and your habit, and you can slowly start getting more and more and more done, and that's really what we've done.
That's why we're here too.
That's right. That's right. Make it easy to not stop.
Right.
There we go.
That's good. All right, on that, yes, if you have any more questions for TJ specific to his work and his expertise, feel free to hit us up on the DMs, as well as go to thefocuscast.com, and we have a survey at the top of the page. You can fill that out. But
check out all their content.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. If you guys want to find us, you can go to hitnetwork.com. Obviously, a lot of our brands are listed there. BitBoy Crypto, you've heard me mention most of them in the past. So yeah, come check us out if you have any questions. Or if you want to come visit the building, we're here too.
I think with that, we should dance.
That's it.
Thank you for listening to the FocusCast. Go to youtube.com/thefocuscast and slap that subscribe button. Head to thefocuscast.com to share what you want to hear next. Go forth and be focused as boy.
Great ending.